Hi there and welcome back, friends of a thoughtful gaming experience. This is your host, Emmanuel Can. We're going to proceed with our Let's Play Torment, Tides of Numenera and explore the game. Last time we talked to the three sentient triangles floating in the air, experienced the loss of self. Even earlier we managed to help Finzin's Levy here get a better year. And now we're here and talking to Aidan Sitabo soon. See what he has to say. The large muscled man is practicing some form of martial art as you look on. He's wearing an old, wide, rough-woven coat with the sleeves torn off and a red bandana is wrapped tightly around his head. Some kind of Bruce Lee type. He seems to be moving much faster than his size suggests is possible. He glides between stances as swiftly as water. His fists are blurring hammers, striking at invisible enemies. His bare, calloused feet snap and slash at the air like knives. Where did you learn to fight like that? By challenging the deadliest creatures and studying their killing blows, he says. I lack claws or teeth, but I do the best I can. Where again? By studying the killing blows of my enemies and taking them for my own. You're very fast. Yes, Adam says. The Drebil's gift. His hand slips around an invisible assailant's arm. He snaps it with a stab of his elbow, then crushes his enemy's throat and flips him over his shoulder to the ground. Jesantum! Arai! He shouts, spinning over the invisible adversary's corpse to deliver a triangle of jabs to the chest of his next attacker. The entire set of moves took no longer than 4 seconds. He catches you staring and smiles. You must be wondering why I am shouting. Yeah. I am not surprised. I must look like a lunatic, he says, before sparing his opponent's jugular with 3 fingers. Confit, thrust! Years ago I was a starving beggar. I managed to steal a wedge of pie crust and was terrified that someone else would take it from me. So I hid inside that silver structure over there to enjoy my feast. Bite of the hidden quap, he says, clawing his enemy's eyes. The stale crust crumbled into pieces between my eager fingers, and something strange happened. They drifted toward the ground like the softest of snowflakes. I was able to pluck each of them from the air before they fell. At first I was delighted, then I wept. How far had I fallen? That clean food was a miracle. He sighs, then delivers 4 more blows to the air's belly, but the miracle never ended. The longer I lived in that shelter, the more I could slow the world by concentrating. I swore to never waste this gift. I would honor it by becoming stronger. Faster, I would challenge the predators of the world and take their killing blows from them. I would never be prey again. Crush, stomp. I bet no, we don't bet we're faster than him. How are you so fast again? I can slow time around myself at will and I never stop training. I bet I'm faster than you. Let's try it out, come on. You're not the first to think so, he says casually, snapping an assailant's neck. I should warn you that all the others are dead. That's not a threat. I only fight to the death. He flings the invisible corpse aside. Before I accept your challenge, I'll need to see if you're good enough to face me. His fist lashes toward you. Juralisk kiss. How quick are we? 12 speed? No. Flinch. Pulls the punch and lets it fall. There's no shame in knowing your limitations, he says. Goodbye. Claw of the Lorik car. So, the beggar, huh? Please, gentle heart, look at me. Skull-like relief could be a warning, or perhaps a notice that something harmless but related to death waits below. The Hargo the Fence, alright. There's a thug again. Dilapidated structure has been converted into a cheap boarding house. Inside, people sprawl on filthy mattresses in a dimly lit room. And we need to... The silvery building, maybe this one? Is it this thing? Oh, there was something up here. What was that? Some more changing god cultists? Intoxicated men, memoviras. Continual rise and fall of the pistons on this device suggest a massive mechanical effort. Structural similarities with the pipes in the area hint at them being part of the same machine. So, whole Sager's Cliffs is a machine. And who are you, Madelia Glittering? Let's talk to you. Hello, friend. A smiling, dark-haired woman greets you, standing behind a table of trinkets. Your eyes are drawn to the 3 small rodents that lazily orbit her head in 3 floating balls. They take turns hovering just out of reach of the half-mechanical, half-organic cat perched on the woman's shoulder. A smile disappears from her face as a small tremor runs through the ground beneath your feet. It's the 7th time today. She glances nervously at the remnants of the structure next door. When that one fell, I heard them screaming, shrieking like the wind was tearing at their bones. Perception law natural. You feel the walls of her home shudder beneath your feet, and the roof settles at an angle slightly more canted than it was before. Scan thoughts, should I abandon my home before it abandons me, I wonder? She idly turns a couple of the curiosities on her table so the light catches on the various planes and materials. Then the smile returns to her face. Come, tell me which of my treasures speaks to you. First, have you seen an albino woman around here? She raises both eyebrows, regarding you silently for a moment. A woman with skin like alabaster. Yes, she was here, looking for help I could not give. Her own treasure was what she wished fixed. I declined. She did not take it kindly, and I haven't heard from her again. She places a gentle hand on your wrist. She is dangerous, friend, she says, her tone light, as if she were merely discussing the weather. Tread carefully wherever you happen across her. She lets go. How much for one of the rodent globes? You mean bay, boo, and bow? She raises a hand and unconsciously pets one of the globes as it swings over her right ear. The tiny creature inside squeaks and scampers in a tight circle before the globe passes out of sight. They're not for sale, my friend. I hope you're not too disappointed. Are you sure? Not for sale, she says easily, scratching her cat beneath her chin when it gets too close to snatching one of said rodents from the air. Let me see what you have for sale. I think this doesn't work yet, but let's see what she says. Those things you seek, friend, will not be found here among my things. Thank you, and that's all for now. Until next time, then. And let's speak to this Mother Temas. This woman glares at the air above her head, her fingers fretting with a single bead in a long, peculiar chain of them. Her low, angry muttering resolves into words as you get closer. Mother Temas, foolish girl, it doesn't matter what you were, the past is a land populated by wet-eyed nitwits. Nay, what matters is where you are, what you be. She's talking to me? Are you talking to me? She blinks at the empty air, and her hands steal to a metallic, many-faceted bead near the end of the chain. I may as well be, she says, snorting. I know you, girl, born falling, you were born in flame, shreds of your smoldering coal streaming through the air. When you struck ground, your bed first went cold and hotter than a mother's hatred. She spits and shakes her head. Scarcely born you are, and already tangled in the past, seeking answers when you should be making your own. I think it's foolish to want answers. Nay, but only a fool seeks them from others. People are glad to tell you who you are, girl. Doesn't mean their answers are worth a pinch of piss. Great wisdom here, great wisdom. Don't let anyone tell you who you are. She sighs. You're confused, but that will change. You'll have your feet under you soon enough. Not all of my children are as lucky. This one, she says, showing you the bead she was speaking to before you arrived. It's carved in the shape of two overlapping spheres. Something's eating her memories, her thoughts, even her name. She calls herself Loss of Self, and she's going mad. Her fingers fold over the bead. Set her back on her feet for me, girl. Do that, and I'll return your call to you, improved through my art, and stronger than when you lost it. Now we talk to Loss of Self. How can I help her? You haven't been listening, girl, she says with a sigh. Don't help her. Convince her to help herself. Where can I find her? Maybe she gives us some new info. We know. She's Mother Tema's trails off, closing her hand around her beads, staring into space. In Cliff's Edge, look around, you'll find her. I'll do what I can to help her. Farewell. What are these things? This hatch appears to be the only visible means to enter the building into which it is built. Airships are known to be nearly uncrashable due to their leisurely cruising speeds and simplified controls. This crash must have taken a rather unique confluence of events to occur. And now let's go to Loss of Self and hopefully help her. There we go. So let's talk again. Loss of Self. Her hands cradle her flushed temples like a crown, and her eyes are closed. Still she manages a humorless smile as you approach. Good, you're back. Talk loud. It eases the pain. Mother Tema sent me. I wanna help. That grim old sack of bones, she says, trying to smile. I've never been able to fool her. No one can. She grips her head, staring at you from between the bars of her forearms. I've been hearing a woman's voice for a long time. She tells me that everything I know about who I am is wrong, and her words are persuasive. With a sound that's half chuckle, half sob, she continues. I can't remember my childhood or my family. Last year I forgot my name, but that's not all. I see people who look like me around town. They have my face. They speak in my voice. And once I saw a ghost of her in the fifth eye. It was the woman in my head. She had a kind face, but it was sad. Like she knew she was going to win. To take over my body, but didn't want to. She clenches her fist. She won't win. I'll kill myself first. Oh, we can promise, we can try to make herself kill herself. Oh, no, we won't do this. We'll really try to help her. How long have you been hearing this voice? 6, 7 years? At first it was just a whisper behind my thoughts. Then I started forgetting simple things like where a scarf was. Then one day I woke up and I couldn't remember my mother's face. Her eyelids flutter. I wish I wasn't scared, but I'm terrified. You're not alone. I'll help you, whatever it takes. Thank you, she says. Her smile is a fragile, beautiful thing. I want to talk about your family. I told you, I can't even bring their faces to mind. Just shapes, shapes in a sea of that damned woman's words. She clenches her eyes shut. I know you're trying to help, but you don't understand. Her whispers eat at me. They peel me away. How am I supposed to stop her when I don't even know who I am? Scan thoughts, they are not real. They never were. Only I am real.